Good day, sir. This is Kalya Mabini. It is a site design or a street typology of Tuguegarao Street. For the site location and information, Mabini Street is one of the early built streets of Tuguegarao City. From Spanish and American colonialization, the street evolved from its land and people. Notable buildings represent architectural styles and other forms. Materials are also developed from wood materials to concrete. Historical landmarks were left, and now huge structures, public buildings, universities, malls, residential and commercial are present and continue to grow along Mabini Street. Next, based on our site analysis, we collected and present here the major landmarks along Mabini Street. They are categorized into three, which is heritage, iconic, and new structures. For the iconic buildings, we consider People's Gym, Tuguegarao City Science High School, Ermita de San Jacinto, University of St. Louis Tuguegarao, St. Paul University, and SM Tuguegarao Downtown. They are said to be iconic building around the site because of its popularity to the public. They are the major landmarks being used in transportation. Second is heritage sites. There are two considered heritage sites along Mabini Street. First is the San Jacinto Building of University of St. Louis Tuguegarao. Second is the Ermita de San Jacinto Church. And for the new structures, we consider the SM Tuguegarao Downtown. For the site's actual condition, the site is a dense zone both structures and population. It is a congested street surrounded with the commercial and residential buildings. The site is intersected with major streets and minor streets, including traffic controls. Street life became more congested and denser due to its demand to business opportunities around the site. Transportation within the site. Transportation within the site, we have utility vehicles such as four-wheeled cars, motorcycles, and bicycles. Public utility vehicles, we have tricycles, as 60% of the Mabini Street covered mostly.
Sun and wind path analysis. The sun shading along the streets is not fully enveloped because of the absence of trees and shading devices. Northeast air comes from the main city and dense place, which can be theoretically cause cool air barely to reach the site. While southeast air comes from the Cagayan River and it is open to flow around the site, making streets elevated temperature and humidity.
For the SWOT analysis, first is strength. Mabini Street is located in the business center of Tuguegarao. Business establishments is all across the street, including schools, bank, and government spaces. For the weakness, congested and dense street. Buildings are deteriorating, which cause close fitting among buildings and provide no space for vegetation and development. Third is opportunity. Tourism and economy will be growing to its peak. Street vendors and public spaces, vehicular traffic will be lessened. Threats. Due to its business opportunities and its community solution, overcrowding will increase and people will seek and demand for facilities. We have the actual conditions of the site and possible solutions. First is improper parking problem. This major problem can cause traffic and obstruction from walk path of people. So the solution is to have parking outlets for utility vehicles separated from the pedestrian. Second is less vegetations. Tuguegarao is one of the hottest places in the Philippines, considering the rise of buildings and having no extra place for vegetations and green projects. Because the street is an open space, one solution is to provide vegetations in the streetscape in Mabini. It is a design solution for passive cooling of the street. Third is improper settlement of street vendors. This is also risky to put the street vendors near a moving traffic which can cause accidents. With that problem, providing them space is a solution which they can settle and improve with safety. Fourth is PWDs. PWDs is not considered along pedestrian and streets. That's why it is considered to have a possible solution of PWD-friendly street using ramps along pedestrian lanes and improvement of street markings. For our design rationale, to be a calle means that the design concept could bring the old environmental shape of Mabini Street through revitalizing and developing its own spaces for the community, because Mabini Street is a historical expression of early community of Tuguegarao. It contains cultural, historical, and societal elements that remains from time to time. This design concept is for the community to have a reflection of an open space where people can talk, eat, interact, and engage without distracting the street's own purpose of passageways. It is a valued place to experience a connected community. We have the design goals. First is to revitalize. A design concept that complements the modern and the past. A design solution that will allow the new generations to experience a community lifestyle like before. It should shape the streetscapes and landscapes in the community, such as sidewalk designs, road divider designs, and so on. The goal is to experience a typical word calle in a major street of Tuguegarao, where people can freely walk, engage, interact, live, and also with transportation, it should not be an obstruction to the street flow, but rather an active space to the street itself. Sustainability. Provide a communal space that harmonizes green and healthy environment and livable streets, such as providing vegetations and shrubbery. It is a green solution that can be adopted not only for the street of Mapini, but also to every corner of Tuguegarao City. This green typology values our care to the environment and also an inspiration to start developing the green city of Tuguegarao. Third is connectivity. This implies the relationship of the society. It is for the community to live up and maintain the sense of the spaces. Public spaces should open and accessible. Transportation can be freely moved from the street vendors, pedestrians, office workers, PWDs, food lovers, commuters, and etc. should experience connection along the street. For the design plan, from the data gathering of the site and design concept, we come up to an urban design that would fit the needs of the community. It would be possible solution to the actual conditions of the site. It is a street typology that revitalizes the lifestyle of Tuguegarao community, but also a channel to increase for conserving the heritages and iconic buildings along the street. This is the design plan of our street typology. It uses the standard 6-meter wide road with 3 meters both sides intended for amenities such as parking outlets, food stalls, alfresco dining, waiting shed, and 2 meters are also provided for the pedestrians and reconsidering the PWDs. Presented here is the typical isometric section and plan of Mabini Street. First, we have vegetation. It considers variety of streets such as mahogany, nara, fruit-bearing, And for the shrubs, we consider evergreen shrub and suntan.
Greenery such as trees in each side of the road helps to chill the ambient air by absorbing solar heat for transpiration and photosynthesis, as well as lowering surface temperatures by direct shadowing of hard surfaces, a green solution of heat.
We consider also lampposts. Both the vehicular road, parking outlets, and street paths should be illuminated. We consider also waiting shed. It is important to have a waiting shed on streets for commuters waiting for any public vehicles. It can provide shelter from rain or from a very sunny weather.
Parking outlets are built to address the systematic problem of improper parking, which is a major city traffic issue along with the stalls. Provided the space given by the design proposal, it will lift the problem or solve it permanently.
In addition to parking outlets, we consider maximum of 4 car parking outlets using parallel parking standard dimension of 3 meters by 6 meters. Motorcycles, on the other hand, have a parking outlet. It can occupy 24 motorcycles with 1.2 meters of width. Tricycles also can park up to 8 tricycles in a parallel parking.
Grass pavements are present and will serve as a drainage system. Grass pavers are one of the most eco-friendly alternatives available. It is also more environmentally friendly than impermeable concrete since they allow rainfall to travel right through and into the soil beneath them. The purpose of tactile tiles, which are used in conjunction with a segmented shared cycling track and footpath, is to inform vision-impaired persons of which side to enter. The center delineator strip's aim is to assist vision-impaired walkers in staying on the pedestrian side of the road.
Food stalls for street vendors. The liveliness of street food makes street vibrant and daily routines colorful. It catches the attention of those from every social class, which breaks down barriers. That is why providing them tent spaces with proper safety and accessibility can help vendors mark up their profit. Considering in every block we have 4 stalls to provide a better food quality and food convenience to the public. Lastly is our plan scheme. Along with the provisions, the plan scheme is a guide to properly plan the placement of the street elements from the design, such as parking outlets, pedestrian lane, and food stalls.